In case you missed it, Kenya just launched its first ever satellite into space. Yes, it finally happened after 3 failed attempts due to unfavorable weather conditions. The SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket carrying Taifa 1 satellite launched into space from the Vandenberg Air Force Base in California at around 9 a.m. local time on Saturday morning, 15th April. For those with considerable knowledge about websites will say, it's no big deal, it's just a nanosat, a nanosatellite. And for the rest of us, how will it affect the price of unga? So, I'm here to share with you critical information about these satellites and how it has the potential to affect the price of unga. Well, before we even go further, what is a satellite? Astrophysicists define a satellite as a moon, a planet, or a machine that orbits a planet or a star. So, technically, Earth is also a satellite because it orbits around the sun. And the Kenya Space Agency has just launched a machine that orbits the Earth, hence the name satellite. Now that we understand what a satellite is, why do we need one? Why does Kenya actually need one? To answer this question, let us look at the brief history of satellite and how they have transformed the world. The history of satellites dates back to the 1950s when the Soviet Union first launched its satellite, Sputnik 1, in 1957. The United States responded by launching its own satellite, Explorer 1, in 1958. Since then, satellites have become an integral part of modern society and have changed the world in numerous ways. Satellites are used for a variety of purposes including communication, navigation, weather forecasting, Earth observation, and scientific research. They have made it possible to transmit information across the globe in a matter of seconds, revolutionizing the way we communicate and do business. Satellites have also enabled us to accurately navigate oceans, skies, making travel safer and more efficient. I cannot fathom how the world would be without satellites. No Uber, no Tinder, no Google Maps, no satellite TV. Can't imagine not watching Arsenal win the Premier League this season. So, the international satellite technology is already established and Kenya can take advantage of what is available. So, does Kenya actually need its own satellite? Well, to answer this question, let us revisit Kenya's history with space exploration. Taifa 1 satellite may be the country's first ever satellite, but did you know that Kenya has already been on the forefront in this technology? In 1960, the Kenyan government and Italy collaborated to establish the Luigi Broglio Space Center, a satellite launching and tracking base in Malindi. The center comprises a main offshore launch site known as San Macro platform, as well as 2 secondary control platforms and communication ground station on the mainland. Between 1967 and 1988, over 20,000 sounding rockets and 9 rockets launched from the Malindi station. So, this collaboration with the international exploration companies made the Kenyan government see potential in space exploration. For this reason, the National Secretariat was established under the Ministry of Defense in 2009. The National Space Secretariat is what we know today as the Kenya Space Agency, after a major rebranding and restructuring in 2017. The Kenya Space Agency was established with the mission of coordinating, nurturing, and developing the Kenya space sector to maximize the utilization of space opportunities. The key focus area of KSA are agriculture, disaster management, security, communication, urban planning, and resource management. I know the question of how this will affect the price of unga has still not been answered. But before we answer this question, we need to know what exactly we are sending into space. The Taifa 1 satellite is an observational satellite. That means it's fitted with a camera that will take pictures of Earth from space. Taifa 1 is categorized as a 3U CubeSat. So basically, a CubeSat is a square-shaped miniature satellite measuring 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, roughly the size of a Rubik's Cube, weighing about 1 kg. A CubeSat can be used alone as one unit or in a group of multiple units. Taifa 1 comprises of 3 units, hence the name 3U CubeSat. Yeah, I know I'm still not making any sense. Taifa 1 is simply a selfie camera for our country, taking pictures of Kenya from space in less than 10 minutes for every 4 days. The satellite is expected to orbit Earth for around 3 to 5 years before it burns while re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. But the question still remains, how does taking selfies of a country affect the price of unga? As I mentioned to you before, the major focus of KSA is agriculture, disaster management, security, communication, urban planning, and resource management. So, we are going to look at each sector and how the satellite will help Kenya achieve its goals. Satellites can provide valuable information to farmers for optimizing crop management. Satellite imagery can be used to monitor crop health, assess soil moisture levels, and predict weather patterns, which can help farmers make informed decisions about irrigation, fertilization, pest control. Satellite can also provide data on crop yield, helping farmers estimate production and plan harvests. Satellite can provide critical support in disaster management. They can be used in early warning system monitoring, predicting natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, and floods. Satellite imagery can be used to assess damage and aid in search and rescue efforts during and after disasters. Satellite can assist in security by providing real-time monitoring of borders, coastlines, sensitive areas. They can detect and track illegal activities such as smuggling, poaching, and deforestation. Satellite can also provide surveillance for maritime security, tracking vessel movements, and detecting potential security threats. Satellites are essential for global communication networks. They enable long-distance communication. Satellites can also facilitate disaster response communication, providing critical connectivity during emergencies when terrestrial networks may be disrupted. Satellites can aid in urban planning by providing data on land use, infrastructure development, and population growth. Satellite imagery can be used to monitor urban expansion, assess infrastructure needs, and planning for transportation and utilities. This data can help urban planners make informed decisions about city development and sustainability. Satellites can assist in monitoring and managing natural resources such as forests, water, and minerals. Satellite imagery can be used to track deforestation, monitor water quality and availability, and identify potential mining sites. This information can support sustainable resource management practices and help mitigate environmental impact. So, to conclude, Taifa 1 has the potential to take the country to a whole new level, given that the data it collects will be useful in driving critical decision making. Agriculture and resource management are key areas where Kenya will benefit from the information shared by this satellite. In addition, the launch of Taifa 1 project could be the first step that takes the country's space exploration to the pinnacle of space activities in the continent, catapulting the KSA to become a continent leader. So, if you liked that video, hit the subscribe button because I'll be making more content as such to keep you educated and well informed. Thank you.